live on a Sunday, motherfucking fun day. Are you guys feeling the fucking fun energy that's going around, bro? This fucking 111 portal, 11111. Man, it's bodacious. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with Moses, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer and teacher and shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American symbol. I am your messenger god, his first creation of himself in the feminine form, the oldest soul alive, that has taken form, I think. I am the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me and know what all of those mean, you would have had to catch my last live video yesterday. Along with that, it tells you about the terrors of the end days that we are approaching, according to astrology. We can look that up in the Bible today and really freak you out, but let's not do that. We're not supposed to worry about what God's doing. Really, let him do his great works. We do what he tells us to do. Shall we not? All right. Yeah, in order to keep up with me, you would have to catch my last live video, anything I posted in my community page, and my shorts. Oh yeah, there was a short. I think there was some kind of fucking limitation to that one, but damn, it was POC last night before I went to bed. Bro, I would like to tell you about everything, but I would spend a whole hour trying to catch you up in what has happened in the last 12 fucking hours. Really? I mean, really though. I posted in my community page, but that'll soon disappear and somebody will find these messages much later. So I guess you're entitled to the whole story. Let me get comfortable. Just wanted to pull the cards and do a quick reading, but that's not going to happen. I went to the show and it was magnificent and it was a very diverse crowd and it was very unusual. And of course I show up in a gown and a hat and I look like a whole witch and it was just, I am just that fucking bitch. And I show up with B and this is the best, as she said, it was clean fun. She had the best night of her life. She was filled. If I could have took a picture of her, and she took plenty. When the lights came on, the look and expression and glow on her face of how much fun and that she had that last night, it was worth it all. I was so glad to have, and I told her this morning, I was like, bro, if I wasn't taking you, or if I wouldn't have made that commitment and you've been involved, I probably would have found a way to walk myself out of this. And I'm really glad that God used me to bring this to you. And it was just amazing. Really? Yeah, I had extreme anxiety about the fact of presenting myself and the package to Bone. I had rehearsed it in my head, okay, what the fuck are you going to say? Don't be weird. Don't be weird. Don't say too much. Don't Kanye. Just hand him the package, right? Fuck, this is, oh God. I was really stressing that. You don't understand what God asked me to do, bro. Nobody does. Nobody will ever understand. This was my life. And I left this fucking life completely. I was all about that life. And I left that life to seek another life. And he puts me right back in it to expose myself and say, hey, this is the new me. Okay, the new me is vibrant and amazing, but what I really am is terrifying to most. It's like, oh, fuck me, right? For example, so I go out on the balcony and I posted this, and I burn my sage. I light my sage. And the second I light it, the entire fucking balcony clears away. Everyone, yeah, except for 5 or 6 really cool people, and that's how it always is. And they want some sage. They want to be sage. These are people that are running around smoking fucking $20 American spirits and all this shit, and they fill the American spirit, I suppose, with the sage. So, anyways, this happens, and it's like, okay, here we go, right? So all of this, and I meet all these crazy cool people, and blah blah blah. I get to see my twin flame. That was awesome. There's always this intensity of this because it's a huge excitement and electricity. And then as soon as, he was done with his show, I get to see him. And it's like, I go for these moments. It's like this unbelievable hug that I get from this guy. Really? It's like, oh, I want to die in your arms. realistically. So I go and I'm really excited and I feel really bad because I totally blew off Tef and I could have just fucking prayed him better. He was suffering from something. He was on crutches and I could have just, you know what I mean, put my hands on his hips and he would have been all, you know, shaking like a salt shaker. On his girlfriend at that. I think he's a dirty Scorpio as we're talking about all this. Anyways, going back to it, I was able to see him. I wanted to give him something to activate him. So I had a special thing for him. And it was really funny. I gave him the Sononis oil. What is that? That's the dark god. I was like, this is going to help. This is going to make or give you great powers. And I told him how to use it. I gave that and I gave it and I pulled out my envelope and I was like, I have to get this to Bone. I was like, I need your help. I was like, I can give it to him, but you could give it to him. It's like, I can give it to him. I was like, you give it to him? You promise? It's extremely important. It's what I came for. I said, I'll give it to him. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I give him a great big hug. And he, you know, he just got off stage. So there's crowds of people that want to talk to him. So I just kind of back up into the crowd and let them go. And it's like, mission accomplished, bro. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. Really? Yeah. So now I'm like, yes, greatness. So then, you know, we go and we have some fun. She wants to, I don't want to eat, but they had pizza and shit. I was like, dude, on another time I'd been smashing and doing all kinds of shit. We had a great time. We talked to all kinds of great people. And then Bone came out and started performing. And as soon as the crowds rushed, I was there for a minute, but it became a little too much. So I stepped out. I was like, give me a second. I'm going to have a cigarette. And I went out there. And it became this whole fucking spiritual thing. Realistically, what happened? My fucking feet hurt and there was no fucking seating. So I decided to be the fucking freak that I am, that I tell you I do this shit all the fucking time. So I put my coat down like a lady and I get down onto my knees so it looks like I'm in prayer, just so I could take the pressure off my feet, and I sit there. So then I light my sage, and right there, the dude at the door sees me and he walks up and he gives me a chair. So now I'm like a fucking royalty right there, dude. Seriously, I've never seen such fucking treatment in my life. Now, let me tell you what happened with the dude, though. Before I went to the show, we stopped at the gas station. I needed a pack of cigarettes, which I want to point out I didn't open those till after the show. But I needed a pack of cigarettes. And I was guided to get some fucking donuts. I was like, I don't know, maybe my blood sugar is going to be low. And I started laughing to myself. And so I'm carrying a pack of donuts in the fucking club, right? Like a fucking snacker. It's a pothead club. Why wouldn't you bring snacks for the potheads, right? If it's not for me, somebody's going to want a donut, is what I think. And so I'm coming through the door after the second time, and the dude at the door, he's eating fruit snacks. And I was like, bro, you got the munchies, huh? And he's like, dude, fucking totally. I was like, I got some fucking donuts in my purse. My Holy Spirit told me to bring them. You want some donuts? He's like, yeah. So I gave him donuts. So then later he sees me over there and then he just gives me a chair. And so I sit there and I light this shit. And this chick, where's my purse, bro? I can't make this up. And that's what I told B. She's like, what happened? I was like, if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. Hold on, let me find my purse. All right. So this lady, and she's wearing one of these new Bone sweaters that are fucking $80, and everybody's telling her, she's like, they're $80, but it's so worth it. It was so pretty. And she comes up and she, like everyone does, she comes up and she starts telling me about her son who passed away. And she pulls out his card. And I don't know if this is her conversation starter, that she does this to everyone, but she comes and she's telling me all about it. And I'm like, take a breath. I was like, well, I was really guided here to actually help the dead connect with the living. And obviously I can do the same for you. I was like, I'm a medium, but I don't like to stay in between. I like to teach you how they're connecting with you. And I was like, and this particular burn was made for such things. I made this to give to the particular people I came to do this with. So I have her hold the sage and I tell her, you know, how he's talking. I was like, first off, he reaches out to you in your quiet space through memories. It's like he can't reach you when you're busy, but you need to put your mind on autopilot, right? So it could be anytime when you're, you know, and I told her all of the times and stuff, and she's starting to tear up. I was like, and it's a sensation. You feel them. You can't hear them too much till later. And then you can hear them repeating words they've said to you before. And she's just crying, and she goes in and she gets her family and she tells them, look, she's a medium and this, that, and the other. And she has me sage them. And then all of a sudden she gets this urge. She's like, all right, guys, let's just go. And she grabs her whole family and she leaves. Really? Yeah. And So I go there to help because Hawk and my spirit team want me to do this with Bone. And I'm like, fuck, you guys are asking for some next level bullshit, bro. Don't put me out there like that. I used to be an aspiring artist and shit. Now you want me to go out, hey, I'm a medium and I talk to the dead and they want to talk to you. Like, and that's what it is, but I got to do this professionally. And this is my first time doing it. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. Really? Yeah, but I get there and I do this. And then there's another person that really needs to connect with their dead. And a lot of people do. And I have the ability to do such things. I'm going to keep his picture at the altar because it was brought to me. And in essence, you know what I mean? He was part of the energy. His soul was chosen to be part of, meeting the highest level and be part of this. So amen to him and his family. And of course, my twin flame did a shout out to Dre Lane because he had passed on. And they did a great song that he made with this cool country singer called the Richest Man in the Graveyard. That alone, dude, the richest man in the graveyard, bro. I don't think it was a punch. It just means that we, you know what I mean? We spend our whole life to being that, the richest person in the graveyard. So it was a really cool thing. And it was all about that. But then this morning I woke up with this unbelievable, there was a lot going on this morning when I woke up. It was unbelievable. But I realized the show, right? And so Bone had every single night, I think this is their set, every single night that they perform for the last 32 years, they've been doing tributes to the very fucking angels or, my spirit guides that want to talk to them. They've been keeping them alive and singing their praises through song because they were giving them honor. They weren't just singing the songs. They're like, we're going to give our love to the dead. And so they do all of this. Their last song, of course, is Crossroads. And at the very end of that, they play One Love by Bob Marley. And I get home and this morning I realized it's like, no wonder all of the spirits that, they pray to and that they're talking to and honoring and that are talking to me want me to come in between and, and connect this whole, connect the dots for them. All I can say about this is when you pray, it's you talking to them. When you meditate, it's you listening to them. So it could be them, meaning spirits, or it could just be God. When you're praying to God. When you're meditating, you're just listening. And that's what I do all day. I listen. I'm receptive. I listen to the voice of God. I listen to them. I pay attention to the visions and the images and the feelings that, and the conversations that I hear in the spirit. Not in my head. It's all in your heart. Right? So I wanted to point that out. Now, I was full of all of this intensity because then I have to, it's as exciting as it is to say hello, it's twice as hard to say goodbye. I see my twin flame and it's always this great thing. I always see him in these same settings. We come together in music. We have this amazing connection. I get filled with so much love and joy and excitement. And then I say goodbye and who knows when I'll see you again. And last time it had been years. It's been years since I seen him again. And of course I got to send all my love and thank you for saving me from fucking having to face Bone. Thank you for giving her an unbelievable night and letting, bringing all of this to be. And like always, I have a tendency to always push things to want more, so I don't do that with you, and that's what makes me so standoffish, but, it was really great, and I told him, I was like, I would really like to have a wise, trustworthy friend in my life going forward, but I don't know you well enough to call you my friend, and I'd like to get to know you better. That's what I said in the message. Very cordial and very honest. I don't want to date you, but I'm not going to lie that I'm very attracted to you all the time and just turn that shit off. But I don't want to do any of that. I just like to get to know you and be around you more because there's a great vibe there. And so I say that and I wake up this morning and that was my last prayer and that was my last sentences is like, I'd like to have a wise, trustworthy friend in my life. And this morning I wake up and I wake up to a text message from Morgan. Hey, it's Morgan. I got a new phone. I'm like, oh my God, there's my wise, trustworthy friend that I've been waiting for a long time. Because that's what I told B. I was like, I guess I'm just going to move into her fucking building and just be like, hey, neighbor. Realistically, why? It was just weird. God said, You know what I mean? He just wouldn't let me reach out. She was right up the street. I drive past her. He just wouldn't let us. And that's what it is. I just couldn't. And so when she tells me the whole story, it's like God was working on her and she had to go through some things, this, that, and the other. And it was meant to be on 111. So she's excited and I'm excited and all of this. She's like, dude, I'm so grateful to have a friend coming in and all of this. And I tell her all of that. And then I tell her about B and all of that. And she's like, bro, I'll bring her the application. So it's like this whole fucking abundance comes in. I asked God for a friend. She finds out that her friend is moving in, so she's beyond excited, right? And then my friend finds out that we can get her in too, so she's excited. And we go through all of this. So we're talking about all these stories, and she says something in the middle of our conversation. Whoa, confirmation, bro. Where did that come from? He's over there. Somewhere in our conversation, she's like, I just need to junk my car and we need to go to the spiritual store. Then she calls me back. She's like, dude, my dad just said he's going to give me his truck. He's going to buy a new truck and he's going to give me a truck. I was like, what? And she's like, hey, maybe we can I don't know where we can junk the car on a Sunday and we can go hit the spiritual store. I was like, I guess if that's what you're feeling. She's like, I feel it. I was like, that's what God made me do, bro. And I tell her the exact story. I was like, God made me give up my fucking Mazda to some girl that was struggling for $400. And I took that money and I went to a spiritual store, and that's where all of this started. She's like, are you serious? I was like, is that what you're being called to? She's like, yeah. So I tell her about the computer situation. She said, bro, that's exactly what happened to me. She said, I was talking to my mother and she got me into medical billing. And I told my welfare worker and they said that they were going to get me a computer from the same place that this place is. And she's getting me into the paid classes. They paid me to go through the training to learn it. I was like, are you fucking serious? I was like, I'm going through the same thing. I've got fucking computer classes starting next week. I was like, and I just pulled the cards yesterday that said we were going into a technological era. She's like, bro, I got us a job and everything. I was like, bro. So it's like so awesome. So then I call B to tell B that I got the application, and B's like, bro, I just got a new social worker through fucking Coalition of the Homeless, and they could fucking probably get me in faster. So then I call back fucking Morgan. I was like, Morgan. She's like, bro, that's who got me in. She's like, yeah, and she only needs a 2-bedroom so she can get in hella fast, and the fucking sheriffs were here throwing out hella people just yesterday. I was like, and the fucking crowd goes wild, bro. Are you serious? B already makes her money going to school online. She was trying to get me to make money doing that. And it's like, dude, all I asked for before I went to bed was some trustworthy, wise friends. And then I woke up this morning with a fucking family of them, dude. And we're going to fucking move in. We're going to fucking take over this building. Really? Yeah. And that's what fucking Morgan, she said, bro, I'm like the only white person here. I told her how they said all that shit. She's like, bro, you would never say no shit like that. They're stupid. I was like, bro, it was fucking mutiny. You should have seen it. I told her all this shit. We were on the phone forever. So I've had an amazing morning. Really? Yeah. It's an amazing day. New beginnings. That's what I told her. I was like, bro, I don't got like, I'm not balling or anything, but all that money that I stashed up that I didn't get last year is about to pop right now. I've got a new house, a new job, new friends, new everything going on for me. She's like, same thing, bro. I'm so fucking glad. I knew this was meant to be. And I'm glad that, you know, I learned my lessons and had to do some shit before you got here. And that's what I said too. I told B, I was like, she's going through some shit. God's telling me to stand back. He's working on her. And that's it. And she was really, dude, she's fucking juiced. And I was like, well, I'd like to see you. She needs to come down and check her mail. So she's going to come down here in a little bit. She's going to bring the application for B. And then I need to go grocery shopping. I'm going to take her and drop her off. And we're going to just celebrate the fucking beautiful day of what the future holds. And it's going to happen fast. That's what I told her. I was like, I'm supposed to be doing all this shit so fast. She's like, it's going to happen fast. I was like, I told you. So life goes on. On a Sunday fun day, we pull particular cards, which are of the light, love and light, bitches. This is where we're at. I'm going to only pull the ones that are on top, and I'm not going digging for anything else. So what do we got? Lumerians, which we always do. I got a light workers and the divine nature. Really, anything I pull today, if I have more time, I just got to do this, and then I'll have more time, is all going to be of the light. So I described what a light worker was yesterday, and I made a funny joke about it. What are we? We're the messengers that bring the light to humanity. as you can see, my dark humor and my dark complex always shows in this light, and that's what it means to be balanced, the duality. I am a dark being that carries the light for you, so that makes me a light worker. Realistically, yeah, I can get real dark on that ass. When I told Morgan what I did with fucking, she was laughing, bro. She's like, I forgot what she said. She says the funniest fucking things, bro. It's like, she has the best punchlines. Fucking B is a rapper. Really? I didn't really know it. She's like, dude, I kind of rap. I was like, do you really? She's like, yeah, I've been known to rap, bro. And so when I'm hanging out with her family, she's like, her niece is like, bro, my auntie raps, bro. And I was like, I told her last night, I was like, I bet you we're going to end up doing music together. There's no coincidences. You're just hiding it. And that's what we do. I was like, I got music projects coming up. She's like, she's like, you're crazy. I was like, you're crazy. You have a hidden gift. And then we're going to bring that to the surface. Really? Do you know a fucking female rapper? Let's move on. Where are we at? Oh, that's a pretty card. Garden your heart. Or garden the heart. I told you I was going to give my twin flame a heart activation. And by do so, I was probably going to get one too. And what is that? Well, I mean, we were heart to heart. It was a heart to heart situation. I gave him the best hug. It was heart to heart. It wasn't Kevin Hart with my head in his his fucking belly button. He's very tall. Anyways, that's what that was. And that was really it. It's inspiration and stuff. And it made so much sense, bro. It just like, it wasn't just random. It was meant to be, bro, realistically. And who he gave it to was even, if there was one in the crowd, I was like, if there was one person I wish you could give this to, it would be this one, but I didn't say it. And he did it. Really, I'm so excited. Mission accomplished. Some things, dude, you think they're oh my God, the next card is going to kill us. Oh my God, Becky. Sorry. When I'm filled with this much light, I literally explode. Why? Because we're not built to keep so much joy and excitement. It almost will put you in pain where you're crying. Really, when you first start experiencing love and light, when you feel good and joyful and grateful, it hurts. When you've never felt it before, you just only felt negativity your whole life and you just start feeling it. It's kind of painful. So right now I'm filled with it, bro. I'm like exploding. And I saw the next card, which is what? It's a whole paradigm shift. Told you. I tell you, fuckers. All right, try to keep up with me. You can. Next thing that's going to happen is alien transmissions. When I'm this far in the light, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hear you, Russ. And that was cool because Morgan knows the whole story, so I was able to catch her up on all the twin flame bullshit. I told her about the chapstick. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. I love you. How can you not love the attempt? He tries so hard, but he doesn't. He's so subtle. You putting that fucking chapstick in the fucking Sagittarius video was so funny. That was so funny. You might as well have just undid your zipper. No, instead he goes on to talk about how he's so sexually satisfying. All she needs is some good dick. I got this. That's it. You see where his energy aligns with me. Come on, dude. You dickhead. Anyways, moving on. My twin flames. That's what I was talking about. I was telling her what happened with Bobby, and I was like, oh, yeah. No, it's not his fault. God got in the middle of this. It's not his fault. I started telling the narrative. I was like, well, he acted all funny because I was trying to go get real close with him. And then he pushed me over into Wolfman. And I'm like, well, fuck it. The whole universe wants me to go fuck this guy. And you don't want to fucking come out with me. And I was like, oh, wait. That happened too. But God told me to tell him that if he talked to me again, I was going to tell his wife. That's why he's not talking to me. I remember. I didn't remember what really happened. Well, what really happened is you said you were going to tell my wife, so I can't talk to you no more. That's what happened. I remember. And I'm not mad about that. Why? Because that's the right thing. And that's what she said too. And that's what God said. It's the right thing. Really? Got to do the right thing. What happened with you guys? God said that if he didn't tell his wife, I was going to have to. And I did everything to make him feel like it was going to be okay and we could figure this out together. But he didn't want to. He wanted to be all stupid and say he was in South Dakota. Morgan said the same thing, bitch. She's like, he was not in South Dakota. I was like, I know he wasn't. You're a fucking liar. How do you live in those lies? It's okay. The truth shall set you free one day, unless you want to just keep digging the lies up. And then when I went back to Russ, I was like, the only one that's not saying shit is Russ, and that's because I cut him so fucking deep he can't even breathe. Realistically, yeah, we spent a year. You wasted a whole year, Russell. You Russell Sprout, fucking potato head. Realistically, yeah, a whole year. We had the year of the snake, where we were shedding our skins. That's it. Not becoming something, taking it all off all year long. All you did all year long was try to put yourself on. Put on for what? You didn't change anything. I'm so disappointed. And that's what she said. He's never going to change. It's Lucifer, but I have hope in God. And you make me fucking hopeless, you piece of poopy. It's just, I guess. And that's where I can turn to all these women and tell them, like I told B and everyone, it's like, it takes a long time for people to grow. But then I look at you and I was like, just fucking burn the fucking field. How long is it going to take you? You're a late bloomer. Really? Some people have at least took off some things. And you know what? Going back to you, Lewis motherfucking Hamilton, what did you take off last year? Moment of silence, bro. What did you guys take off last year that you're going to put on new this year? You didn't create nothing new, bro. You're on the same old mentality, bro. And I feel like a failure. Like, I'm speaking to my closest tribe. It's like I feel like I failed you. Like, so how could I not inspire you to be more than what you are? What am I not getting through to you? I know you're watching me. You're the only ones that continue to watch me all the time. Why can't you get this? Is your ego that fucking broken? And I have respect for it, but then I look at myself who had multiple egos, multiple personalities of shattered age groups, and I'm like, do you guys got worse personalities? Like, how deep is this personality that you wear? I don't know. I'm sad for you. Someone like Russ, like, we come into this new, every time you come into this new place and you look around and I guess last year I looked up and the only one that seemed to be bursting out was Mike Stud. I was like, I think that was 2023. I was very confused. I was like, we roll up in our little tricycles and I look over and it's Mike Stud. I'm like, where the fuck did you come from? I didn't know you made it through hell. All right, let's go for round 2. Realistically, that's what it means. You come out of, one level of the Dark Night of the Souls, cycle, 1 year of it, to go into the next year, and you start to realize the cycles, and it's not all the time. It's just accelerated times, and you learn the process of this shit. Really? How long are we doing this? 35 motherfucking years? Some of you will die before it's over. I hope you learn something before you die, because otherwise you're just going to come into more cycles of it. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Really? If you don't learn here, they'll put you in another body somewhere else to learn your lessons. Learn that. Know that. Really? Yeah. And that's why they call it an eternity in hell, because you're trapped in your own fucking mind of this torturous, self-imposed imprisonment of belief. Really? Yeah. Because you don't believe in faith. You won't let your faith break you out of this. You have no faith. You have no hope. Bottom line, why don't people leave things? They lack faith and hope, and that they'll be okay outside of this situation, this person, this job, this house, this community, this family, these clothes, your makeup. All right, let's go on. The garden of your heart. It is not enough to guard and cultivate our thoughts. We must also pay attention to the heart's garden. That's exactly what Morgan said about my twin flame. Why didn't you just give in? I'm so used to not this. I just didn't want to even. It's like, for all I know, he's got a fucking wife and fucking 5 kids and all this other shit. I don't like to get caught up. I don't let my heart just open up to people. I'm full of love. I just have to, I don't have to fall in love with you. I have to keep it from overflowing onto you. I can give love to everybody and everything. You know what I mean? It's just me portioning out what I feel is appropriate for my own well-being, because I get my feelings hurt when it's not reciprocated, or I've given too much and I feel like it's abused. And that's just mentality. That's where the ego comes in. But that's really what it is. It's like, you don't have to make me fall in love with you. I'm a loving being, and I can just totally just fucking just start pouring it out on you. Anybody. Really? I'm just made like that. Once you're full of your cup overflows, it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna love the shit out of you. And that's where it is. It's like babies, everything. It's like, oh my god, I want to squish you, I want to love you. It's It's a little bit much. It's very clingy. It comes off clingy, but it's not really. I just want to, let me squish you. Let me cuddle you. Let me take care of you. For it's very nurturing. It's just the divine feminine. It's a little bit much. Are you allowing your heart to focus on what expands your possibility? Are you weeding out repetitive feelings that make you feel small or ashamed? Our emotions tell us with great simplicity and power where we are in relation to where we want to be. Make friends with all the feelings as they show up. And that's really what it was. As a person that was completely disassociated, which is a shutdown, I was numb to my feelings. I just didn't express them. I would shut them down and literally shut my mind down and so that I didn't feel them. So the awakening was all of these new feelings. I couldn't turn them off, but I just explored them. They're all different feelings. I never felt like this. All of them. I never felt like this. 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 And so it's like you start to understand this feeling and you start to question, where is it coming from? And since you can't see, you're looking at, I feel like this because of this situation. And you start to evaluate the situation and you start to realize this makes me feel this way. You start to learn that your feelings are an expression of their impressions of imagery and shit like that. When you see something, you feel some way. When you smell something, you feel some way. When you hear something, you feel some way. All of these things bring up different feelings. So when you start to explore it like me, and that's how it comes into being psychic again and your intuition, I know what this feeling is. I've explored this. So when I'm sitting outside and I get a feeling over me and nothing, I haven't seen anything, I know that this isn't my feeling, that I'm catching an energy, right? And that's where I can go outside and I can feel this heaviness of the weight. And I was like, I know what this feels like. I was like, there's a heavy energy. There's a heartbreak energy. There's an anger energy outside. That's because I can feel the outside after learning what it feels like inside. When you come up to me, I can feel your energy. I feel mine, but I can feel how you feel and how you make me feel. Really, I'll be fine, but then all of a sudden I'm filled with feelings and it's coming off of you. Really? That's why I don't like to put my eyes on things, because then I get all of this, and that's where the knowing is. I get all of this. I know what this is. I know where this comes from. That means this has happened. Really? Goes back to pattern recognition, but it really is just honoring your feelings from all day, and that goes back to the astrological charting. Every 2 hours, you're being placed, new planetary energy is being placed in you. So that's why your feelings are changing every 2 hours. You're going through emotion, you're going through the universe, or the universe is flowing through you if you'd like. And you get to honor that. So that's why, like, if you catch on to the patterns, there's certain part of the day where you're in that Mars energy. This is the best time for you to go work out. It might not be at the best time for your schedule, but every time that energy comes in, you're filled with unbelievable energy. For 2 hours, go push it. You're overwhelmed, you're anxious, you're bored. You have a lot of energy for those 2 hours. There's 2 hours when Neptune comes in and you're sleepy and you're drained and you're yawning. Okay? There's 2 hours when that comes in when you're inspired and you're creative and you catch these hours. I have a chart there. You can find the charts of how they flow through the day, and you plan your day accordingly to the energy, how it flows. So there's just that. And that's what I teach you. But there's lots of other outside energy that's flowing around us that it comes upon you, and you'll just start acting. You'll inherit it like it's yours. You were fine, and then you went outside, and now you're angry and you're frustrated and you're being a jerk. That wasn't your energy. You stepped out in it. Learn how to clean it off. When you're not you, you need a Snickers. That's not funny. Sorry, it was my Holy Spirit. Sorry, I don't know. It's funny, but then they interrupted, and we used to have a lot of interruptions, so that one was funny. You need to learn how to clear yourself off and realize what made you feel that way. Was it a person? Was it just outside? Was it a thought that you thought of something and then all of a sudden your feelings went down? You have to understand your feelings are triggered. It's an electrical wave that goes through you. And a lot of things can do it. Just like you go outside and you'll either feel hot or cold. You become more aware of different feelings, and that's how the animals are so instinctive. They feel the hot and cold, but not too much because they have all that fucking fur. But they can sense things in the air, in the quietness, in the movement. That's how they hunt. That's how they live. That's how they do everything, is by these senses of what's moving through the air. So that's what I teach you guys. How do you learn that? What's moving through your own body first? Work through your own feelings first. After you know your own, you know which ones are yours and which ones aren't. Okay. All right. Let's see. Are you weeding out repetitive feelings that make you feel small or ashamed? Our emotions tell us with great simplicity and power that we are or where we are in relation to where we want to be. Make friends with all the feelings that as they show up. Allow them their ebb and flow. Then cultivate the ones you actually want to thrive. Plant your hopes, whatever, and water your enthusiasm. Grow your love. I'm getting downloads that are getting in the way of the words. Allowing the ebb and flow, right? Cultivate the ones that you actually want to thrive. So that's what I mean is like you can go out and get angry, but if you don't choose to take off the anger, then you're just going to be angry all day. We can go outside and we can get sad. There's certain energies that make us nostalgic. There's an energy throughout the day that'll make you think of old things, that'll make you nostalgic. Are you going to stay in that energy all day, or are you going to go and change that energy? You have to learn how to flow with this. There's a time for me to sit there and mourn, and I can do this, but I cannot sit here all day feeling fucking sorry for myself. That's not going to happen. There is a part of the day that the part that comes over and is like, enough. We've cried enough. It's time to get up now, and we have to change this energy. We have to take a shower. We have to put on our pants. We have to change something. We have to get out of this energy. That's what it means about that. And that's the same thing too. Catch yourself when you're being manic. You know when you're having too good of a day and you're a little bit out of control. You're a little bit manic. You're too full of energy. You're too full of yourself. You are a bad bitch. You got that bad bitch oil on you. Can't nobody fuck with you. Don't go out and be too much. You got to learn how to tone that down. When I'm too full of energy, I got to go for a walk. I can't be over here just exploding in my skin and acting like a fucking fool like this. I need to go wear some of this shit off. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You need to feed some of that. And what's really funny is like occasionally you need to watch a love story. You need to watch these love stories. You need to feed that part, that little part in you. You need to feed your heart to make it believe in love sometimes. You need to sit down sometimes and curl up and watch a chick flick. Every man and woman needs to, so that you can have that idea of closeness and cuddling and crushing. It's a good feeling to have like a crushing feeling. That's what I feel with my twin flame. It's like this, like you get these like attractions. Not horny. That's a terrible word. That's not what it is. It's like excitement, not butterflies, but just excitement. It's good to feel that and to see that. And you need that. You need to put those kind of good ideas and feelings into you as an adult. It's important to do that. And even the ones that make you cry, because it's a good way for you to express. You won't feel what happened to you, but when you watch it happen to someone else and you cry real hard for them, and by doing so, you release your own pain. It's really good to do these kind of things, to watch a sad movie. It's good for you to release those pains, especially by yourself. You won't cry for yourself, but you can cry for someone else. It's good. Okay. All right. Water your enthusiasm, grow your love with wild abandon. Now is the time to make room for all emotions to come and go as they show up, rejecting none. If you're fucking angry, be angry. Be super angry. Turn into the fucking Hulk, but don't hurt nobody. It's okay to be angry. I'm seeing this moment. I was really terrified when my worst personality came out, the last one, which I called the beast. Realistically, it was my divine masculine out of control. And I had lost it with fucking Tree. And then my daughter simultaneously called me and I lost it with her. I went off, which was just set my boundaries and told everybody to fuck off and quit treating me like shit, realistically. And when I came home, I was filled with so much anger. I was like crying and I didn't want it to come out on my smallest children. And I told them, I'm having a really rough time. Please stay away from me for a little bit so I can be better and I don't hurt your feelings. And I went in my room and I was so angry and I just cried and I stayed away from them. It was meant to come out and it came out when it was necessary, but I knew how to keep it in when it came to those closest. They didn't, I didn't want to take it out on my smallest kids. As far as my daughter, she had that shit. I had that shit bottled up, bro. It wasn't good, but it needed to come out. And she came at the right time to catch that right words. And that's what I needed. I needed you to get the fuck away from me and stop making me feel bad for being a bad mother. Every time you guys fucking call me, you want to fucking ask me for some shit or put me down. And I'm fucking tired of this. I'm fucking tired of it. It came out when I was already standing up for someone else. So I stood up to myself then. When I got home, I didn't want to take that stand-up attitude to my kids and look fucking, mean. So I took that shit into my room. But I acknowledged it. I was ashamed of it. I sent a message to Tree about apologizing for trying, swinging on him and throwing him out the studio. But I didn't have to apologize for my behavior. I told you all day to leave me alone and to back the fuck up. And you kept, you took my kindness for weakness that I wouldn't, stand up. And I stood up and I swung on you and threw you the fuck out the door. And any grown man would have done that the first time. You didn't hear me. You didn't respect me. Going back to my kids, they didn't hear me. They didn't respect me. So that's what it was. It's like, I acted very angry and completely berserk, but that was honorable. And I respect why I did that. And that's what it means right here. You reject none of your feelings. You are entitled to be angry. Where does it come from? Because you're fucking hurt. You're hurt. And that's all I told Tree. I'm hurt right now. I can't deal with this. He couldn't honor that I was hurt from something else. All he wanted to do was blast this song. It was the best work. It's my song, bitch. Take it off the fucking internet. He couldn't. Well, where's it at now? You have no access to it, bitch. God took it away from you. Nobody will ever hear that song. Really? It really went down, bro. And so your feelings are natural. Don't feel bad for being angry, bro. Don't be bad. Understand that the only reason you're angry is because you're hurt. And you can't let the hurt out, so it's coming out in anger. But you know what I mean? If you need to be angry, then be angry. If you need to let these words out, let these words out. If you need to cry, then cry. I'm looking back at this time in front of my sister. She's expecting me to engage with her, and we're about to go, sister to sister, and we're going to use our words. And she starts belittling me, and I just start crying. I don't fight her. I let her tear me apart, and I don't fight her. And I let her see that her words are hurting me. And that I don't need to hurt her back with my words. And I let her, win this battle. It's like, I don't have to act like this doesn't hurt. What you're saying to me is making me cry. And I want you to see what your words are doing to me right now. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't hurt. You're hurting me with your words, dude. You're trying to hurt me with your words and it hurts. And it was an eye opener, because as a person that hurts people with their words, there I was crying from someone else's words. And that's the mirror with me and Marshall. Marshall has been this way his whole life until he saw it in another person and saw the actual effects. He saw himself in another person and what this does to himself and to others. And that's what this mirror effect is between all of us, my twin flames. It's like, what is the mirror with Bri? I realized it. It's quite obvious. And it's a beautiful mirror. He's like me, a part of me that most people don't see, which is, a really down to earth, kind, loving, want to help everybody, stick to myself, only care about my family type person. He's an empress. He reflects my empress. Really? Yeah. When I'm around him, I can just be the good me that I am. I don't have to flare up and be the man me. I don't have to be this me. I can be the most vulnerable me, which is just me. I can be, me. And that's what I always said about him. I can just be me around him. I don't have to, when I was an artist, that was fine. When I was a spiritualist, that was fine. You know what I mean? He just he's grateful for just me being me. I don't have to be anything to be around him. I can just be me. And that's what he reflects as the calmer versions of me. I would say just that, the Empress. Really? Yeah. And that's a beautiful reflection. He reminds me of the better sides of me that I deny. And that's it too. Wolfman reminds me of my sexuality that I deny. Fucking, you know what I mean? Russ reminded me of my need for, acceptance that I denied. Fucking, they all were just, they're me. So it was cool. That's it. Yeah. And that goes back to Ellie. What is it about Ellie? He reminds me of my broken heart that I denied. You know what I mean? Lewis, he reminds me of my tenacity and my overdrive that I deny, that I can and I've showed people I'm fucking a man about this shit, dude. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. The only thing that can stop me is me, and it takes even the fucking force of God to stop me. Really? Yeah, and that's that will. You know what I mean? What is it? They're parts of me. They're me and another person that calls me to them so that I can see me. I'm in love with them because they're me. And the more that I can, you know what I mean, love them, the more love I have for me. So it's just nothing but love. You know what I mean? Marshall's just me. That's just me. And you know what I mean? The more that I can accept that all those things about me, the more I love him. You know what I mean? Russ is just me. Just trying to be accepted. Just trying to be understood. Just trying to be heard. Bobby's just me. Just wants to be a good marriage and be a good, you know what I mean, a good provider and be part of, just be good. Fucking Bry is just like me. He just wants to spread good music and inspire people to live their dreams and use what resources he can to, to build great creative, a great creative world. They're just me. I love them all because I love me. But, at first it's like, Kanye. How can anyone love Kanye? That's me, bro. Have you ever met Kanye? Never. I don't need to. Now imagine the way that we twin flame so hard. That's how your fans are. They see themselves in you. And maybe go full stand like I did on fucking, Stan the man over there. And they just want to love you and make this connection. They feel like you get them because you know how they feel. And, you give this projection and this, that, and the other. Now, keep in mind, yours is on the surface. So they get you on the surface. But what we have is deeper than that. It's on the soul level. But they feel like they have a soul connection to you because your surface looks like theirs. So have more respect and admiration for your fans because your fans are you. They're small versions of you that wanted to grow up and be like you one day. They're just like your children, bro. They're your offspring. And yeah, they're just as crazy as you. You know what I mean? Eminem's fucking children are just as crazy as Eminem. Realistically, and that's why he needs to teach them better. Otherwise, they're gonna be running up on someone like me. First off, fuck yo bitch and the click yo claim. We gotta be better than our ancestors, don't you think? Realistically, yeah. So understand that the things that you dislike in a person are things you deny about yourself, and it's actually not even something you deny or someone told you couldn't be. So you tell someone else they can't be that. It's really where it comes from. Somebody told you couldn't be this. So when you see someone else being like that, you tell them what someone told you. You're repeating their rules that you live by. But you shouldn't make them live by your parents or your rules. Really? Yeah. This is a good one. We spent like all hour. Let's see. Don't reject any of your feelings. Then, in your surrender, nurture the ones that reflect your great worthiness. I guess when I started all this, I thought I was going to get rid of everything, but all I did was love everything about myself. Really? Yeah. Yeah. And, this whole experience about again, I'm really grateful for what happened on Saturday night. It's hilarious to everyone. It's like, you didn't know what day it is. You showed up to the concert the wrong day. Yeah. But if I didn't do that, you don't understand. If this didn't happen, we would have dropped off the baby. We would have went to the concert and I would have never met these people. This happened when I went there. I spent an hour and a half in the company of great people, which is something I'm denied. I don't hang out with people because I don't do it. It's my own thing. I don't want to do it for my own reasons. So it was kind of forced on because she was really excited to introduce me. She's like, my sister, I used to only hang out with losers and drug addicts. I'd really like them to meet you. And I'm over there. I don't think they want to meet a witch. I'm standoffish. It's like, I don't want people to judge me or you when they meet me because it's obvious. You may not see it, but they see that I'm a witch and it frightens people. So I don't like to do that all the time. Just like Mr. Plum. Mr. Plum, I don't go with you because I don't want people to judge you. I don't hang out. I don't do this because I don't want people to look at you poorly. You know what I mean? That's why we don't go out and do things. Right? Real talk. I don't want people to fucking. That's what I told my twin flames, in the beginning. It's like, I don't want to ruin your career. Being affiliated with me is going to bring a lot of heat to you. You know what I mean? You're not going to be, you'll lose a lot of people just being friends with me, let alone anything more. And that's the truth. I know what the world thinks of me, and they haven't even met me. And that's why I was trying to avoid all of that public, you know what I mean? Public bullshit, public affairs. So, anyways, this all worked out, and I got to hang out for like an hour and a half in great company. And it was not just that, but I got to be myself, which was only, ministering and talking about spirituality. I talked about Diana, I talked about Pac, talked about all kinds of stuff. And the crowd was great, and I loved them. And I would have stayed there all night hanging out with people because it was good company. All we did was just hang out and smoke a couple of joints, but it was just great company. And I miss that. I miss being around people. I miss good company. You don't realize. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I felt it again. And I was really grateful for her to bring me into that. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't make that mistake, but it wasn't a mistake. So he made me realize that I needed this. And he also, we left there and she's like, girl, you're so much fun. I didn't know you were so much fun. And I got to see myself too, be myself around people. And I am a lot of fun with the individuals, but it's also with a crowd. And the same thing happened last night. You know what I mean? It's like everybody gets to know me and they're having fun and we're having good times. Anybody that talks to me, I'm the life of the fucking party. And I get a lot of life out of the party. And it was good to face this and push myself in. I had a lot of anxiety of trying to do this again, only for it to become so natural and make me realize that I missed being part of society. That's what I was. I was a very big socialite, not because I carried groups, but went and I had fun and I was a fun thing to be around. And I always met fun people and it was always a fun thing. And so I got to experience that 2 nights in a row. And again, as I said this to my twin flame, and I'd like to know you better because that's good company. I just want good company. He's good company. And I wake up this morning and I'm in the grace of great company, not just one, but two and three. And here's all this great company. And I'm really excited about that because when I did start, I wanted that. I wanted to understand why I didn't have anybody, why I was so isolated, and fix it. And what happened is all I did was figure out why I didn't fuck with nobody and become more comfortable just being isolated and decided to just stay isolated. As God kept trying to push me out, it just wasn't going well. And I wasn't even trying really because I didn't want to. And even though I wasn't, I kept following it and, trying to rehabilitate myself into people. And you go back to last night, guys, they were all over me. It was fucking standing room only. I didn't have to dose. I didn't anything. And I got to sit there with a smile in my own. I got to like nobody else was in the room. I was able to just dance and enjoy myself. It didn't crush me. It was great. Not to the fact like, oh, I want to do this every night, but it was great to know that I could still be part of it. And it felt good to be part of life again. A life that I left, it seems like so long ago. It was only a couple of years. But these years, it felt like lifetimes. It's only been 2 years since I've seen you, but it's like, Jesus, it's been decades for me, what I've gone through. And then you look at someone like Russ, it's like, this motherfucker ain't done shit last year. Do you know what I went through in 1 year? Do you know how many paradigm shifts, as we're about to talk about, I went through? How many layers of my existence I had to peel off? And only by reliving them do you peel them off, which is the patterns. Only by making the same mistake do you finally realize you learn from your mistake. You don't learn after it's done, you learn while you're doing it. And then, after you realize what's happening. It's like, how many times are we going to do this? Going back to Bobby, how long was it going to take before you put your foot down and say you're going to tell his wife? I don't know. I guess it took a while, didn't it, though? Jesus. How long was it going to take before I went back into a club? It was always destined that I would step back in that scene. It took a long time, bro. And a lot of mental strength. And I went in just fucking awesome. Realistically, yeah. Always me. All right, paradigm shift. I don't think we have time for this. Yeah, we do. We're only at an hour. All right, God, no more. No more testimony. Just get through the card. That's what makes the fucking card, is what he says. I'm grateful, God. Really? Yeah. Life is full of... Fuck you, Russ. It's my only favorite Russ song is Waves. The ebb and flow. It's good enough, you know what I mean? It's not like it's all over. We'll still have trials and tribulations, but as you learn how to deal with the situations, each one, and mainly as you learn the process of your feelings in your mind, which is alchemizing energy as it comes over you during, chaos or whatever you're facing, as you learn how to just alchemize feelings and go with it, no matter what comes at you, you're like Neo, bro. You're like, oh, it's all good. This is God. It's all good. It's all good. You become numb to the bullshit because of your faith. And it's not like you're disassociated, you're fully present, but you're present with a higher state, a higher vibration, a higher perception that it just doesn't phase you. You see it for what it is, which is just a lesson, or, yeah, this makes sense that this happened, or I could see why this happened. You know what I mean? Really? Yeah. It's like we have much more to go through, but it's like I'm not going to act like I did before. I'm going to, you become mentally and emotionally capable to deal with not just everyday things, but now they start throwing at next level fucking challenges. Realistically, yeah, that builds builds your resolve much stronger, your muscle training, if you will, which is your being. And then it also shows, a warrior outside of you. People are watching you live your life and taking it like it ain't shit. You're like eating up the towers, and you're just like out there getting fucked up, and you're just like, praise God and hella motherfucking Luya. And they're like, damn, I want to be like them. I'm over here crying about my fucking tuna sandwich. Really? Pretty much. All right, paradigm shift. What comes after that? I just want to point out your karmic cleansing. Ouch. I didn't pull this out. What is a paradigm shift? It's a reality change. It's a reality check. Usually go through these through the weekend. I would think that right now you guys are going through an enormous one. Fuck, I can't pull this card. We have to stop. Why? Because there's too much information. The Lumerians come first. Why? It's just a setup. So we can't. Why? Because both of these cards are going to take me too deep, and I can't right now. Look, they align though. If I pull out all the cards that we're supposed to pull for today, which those will take up another hour, promise? I swear to God. I have to stop here. On a fucking Sunday, I usually do at least a minimum of 3 teachings. We do light codes, which usually ends up as 2 teachings. We do religious studies. Remember, we started the teachings of Christ. Really? Yeah. We're studying the words of Christ, not the fucking Bible. We're only reading his words. So we got through Matthew. I think we only got through, like chapter something. We didn't get too far in Matthew of what his words were. So we have that teaching today. And I tried to, at the nighttime, I tried to pull the cards to see what's going to happen tomorrow, because we'll just wake up in it. We just fall in it. By the time we wake up, we're just sitting in some energy. And I like to know what that is. So I'm prepared for it when I recognize it in the morning. It's like, oh yeah, the card said this was going to be here this morning. So I have lots to do, but again, I also have lots to do. I'm going to break here and we're going to talk about the paradigm shifts in the harmonic flight. The harmonic flight, you can look at it and just see that it's an alignment, and that's you facing you. It could be your masculine and your feminine aligned. And as far as the paradigm shift, it really is. Hey, I didn't realize she was nude. Sorry. Hopefully YouTube doesn't either. These cards, they don't mean to. But it's about going into a new doorway, and this is a portal. Yesterday I told you that we're in a portal, new beginnings. How do you do it? You have to leave something, bro. How do you go to a new relationship? You leave one. How do you get a new job? You quit yours. You're like, but I don't have a new job. That's what you're supposed to be doing before the 18th. You're supposed to be clearing out room. You don't get the idea until then. Can you sit still for 7 days? God created the universe in 7 days. Can you fucking clean out your closet and wait for him to put a new wardrobe in there? It's going to take 7 days, 7 business days. No, just kidding. Really? He's better than Amazon, but it might come from the Amazon. He's never late. I tell you how this works. Really? No, it's all in the planets. I told you. The new moon is going to give us new inspiration for what we are supposed to work on. We spend the 15 days doing the minimum, which are the actions we can. If he gives you an idea that you're going to be, he shows you as an artist, then your job is to go clean out an art room and get the shit ready. Right? If he shows you that you're going to be an actress, then I don't know what that means, how you prepare for some shit like that, but you're supposed to start getting ready for it. If he shows you a vision that you're going to be a baker, then you better fucking go get you a fucking oven or a little fucking Susie. You got to start somewhere. He's going to give you the vision. We are all going to get new visions on the new moon. It's all proclaimed, and these seeds can outlast our generations. If we feed into this bullshit will outlive us. It's a really big seed he wants to give you. But if you don't have time for a new project, if he's going to give you a new love, all you need in your life, you've got everything right, and now all you've been waiting for is that perfect person, and you still ain't got ready for it, then you know what I mean? You're not going to get that inspiration. And that could be it. One day you wake up and that's what happens with the twin flames. And he's like, go after that guy. Oh, I could never. No, but he's a good guy for you. No, 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 no. No, I want you to go after this. This will be good for you. I'm scared. He'll never want me and this, that. I'm just showing you. It could be a person that he tells you. He shows you that you need to go out, you need to be with this person. And you never thought about it and you think it's impossible. He shows you that you're living in fucking Germany. You thought about it, but you never thought it was possible. He wants you to make it real. Not like it's going to really happen in 15 days. He wants you to spend 15 days really planting this seed, believing in it mentally, seeing it, doing whatever it takes that you can within your grasp to make it real. Don't take out a loan in your house to move to fucking Germany. But what does that mean? Start figuring out what it's going to take. Start looking for houses in Germany. Start whatever it means. Start looking, planting the seed, doing the mental preparations, mentally wrapping your head around what it would be. What part of Germany would I go to? How long is the flight? When would I leave? Where would I leave all my stuff? You start planning for this idea. He's going to give you the vision. But again, you cannot be given the vision if you don't have a place for him to put it in your life. Really? Promise you. And that's what all of last year was for, bro. You still have a chance. He's always opening doors and opportunities for everyone. You didn't miss it. But you could miss this portal and have to wait for the next one. When's the next one? February 1st is a new opportunity where he'll give us, for us that already, we worked it to the end. On February 1st, he'll give us the next idea. So that's where it is you've got to catch these times when he's giving it to you. You have to be receptive, but you also have to be open to it. I'm too busy to do anything else. He's not even going to knock on the door. Really? You're not even going to hear him with this new plan on your life. Really? Yeah. We'll talk about that in the next reading, and I'm sure that'll probably come out in Jesus's words too. I'm full of greatness, and that's because I had to go through all the darkness, and that's what it is. It's like I'm at the last level of hell. I had to go through the last level of hell to break the surface. Doesn't mean, everything, all my dreams come true. No, my seeds are growing and I can feed off of those, but we know that I need to plant new seeds for the future, and that's what we're doing. If you're reaping what you sow right now, but this is an opportunity to plant new seeds. You can do something very simplistic that's not lifetimes. You can plant an idea for a new job and have that new job by the full moon. I'm not sure, but right now you have to get ready for it. Really? Clean out your closet. If you want new clothes, then you got to get rid of that. Just like Morgan, dude. As soon as she said it, I need to get rid of this car. She called her dad, and her dad said he was going to give her a new car, and she wants to use the money for spirituality. I was like, that's what God did to me. I've seen this before. If she's guided to, it's whatever she's guided to do with it. She might be guided to give it to a cancer organization. People are just guided. God makes them do shit like that. They don't fucking want to give up their whole life savings to fucking family fucking research. God makes you do things, bro. He makes you give out of your heart. And it makes no sense. You're gonna leave all that money to fucking some fucking Red Cross? Yep. God be with them. That's what he told them to do. It's a calling of their heart. People aren't dumb and they don't try to show off. They didn't work their whole life to do it. It's that they feel this is the right thing to do. Really? Yeah. Go with your feelings, bro. And that's where it is. Your mind's like, no, this is stupid. Don't do this. You're dumb. Don't do this. Don't do this. Your mind's always telling you not to do something your heart tells you to do because it's afraid. But your heart knows what's best. It does what's best for the greater good, not just what your mind thinks is best. It's very limited. With that being said, yeah. Hey, I love all of you guys. As in Twin Flames too, and I know you guys were all tripping. I was laughing about you, Wolfman. You are so funny. Trying to secure your place. I've seen this before. Quit playing around. Quit playing around. The only one that can fuck this up is you. Know that. Really? By being arrogant and trying to control it. You have one job. What's your job? To fix yourself so I'm not repelled by yourself. You know what's wrong with you. You know the parts of you that women don't like and that you really should work on. You know you shouldn't be saying that or doing such things. Just like me, I know I shouldn't be running around calling you a bitch all the fucking time. It's not no, it's not like nobody never told me to quit calling people bitches. You know what I mean? It's just like that, and it's a choice. If you choose to make the right changes, then we'll align. If not, it doesn't happen. And that goes back to, me and Bry. I didn't make the right choices to align with him before this. I wasn't ready to fight these fears and I wasn't ready to do that. It had nothing to do with him. I had my own reasons why I couldn't just, be present around him. That goes back to Bobby. It has nothing to do with me. You have your own reasons why you can't be around me. And that goes back to all of them. What's wrong with you, Lewis? Why you can't come hang out with a bitch? You got problems. You're mental. You're mental. It's your mental body. We'll call it your mental body instead of running around calling everyone mental. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Laters, haters. Oh, wait. I forgot. I'm going to see if there's anything good in here. Oh, my God, you guys with these things. What's up to everybody? Who's the creepy bald lady in the back and the white card on the left? Are you talking about Mother Cabrini? You talking about her? I guess all nuns look like that. That's Mother Cabrini. I wasn't around during the age of Mother Teresa. Mother Cabrini is just a reincarnation of the nuns and the mothers that were given to us by God. She has a local placement here. She was one of the first that called me into spirituality. There's a shrine up in our mountains next to Red Rocks, and I went there, and that's where I believe is a holy ground where you can connect with biblically, the kingdom of God. And so she's very important to me. She was a mother of the orphans, and especially the immigrant orphans. She was from Catholic religion, and she was called out here. She had a vision. She was from, Italy, and she had a vision to come to Colorado. Why? It was for the gold rush. That was a big thing that was happening in America. And then they were also building the train. And so it was a big thing. She came out here and she's a huge part. The bald lady in the back. That was really funny. I love you guys. That's a kid, dude. That's what I love about us. We're just kids. It's like, just say it how it is. It's like, whose kid said that? That was a grown person, I'm sure. All right, who's the creepy bald lady? That was great. Mother Cabrini. I'm glad I read that comment. What else do we got in here? Hold on. I'm single. Can you check when I'm going to be in a relationship? I take Zoloft to numb my emotions. Okay, let's talk about the relationship and then we'll talk about the Zoloft. Everybody's put on antidepressants in the beginning, right? I think everybody's probably took Zoloft or Paxil or all of those Lamictal. You're like, damn, you're mental. I mean, if you've ever suffered from anxiety or depression, you know what these words are. And they give them to you, I mean, at young ages. As far as your relationship, God won't bring you one until you feel like you're ready. Just because you think a lot of people are chasing relationships because they don't want to be lonely, that doesn't mean you're ready. That means that you're going to self-sacrifice yourself just to have somebody. That's an expression of saying I'm not ready. You know what I mean? Going out and looking for a relationship won't get you one. When you're ready for one, that's when they come, and it's most surprising and you don't feel like you're ready. He's knocking really hard on the door. So as far as your relationship status, I can't tell you when you're ready. Only you know when you're ready, and that'll be a conversation with you and the spirit when you finally tell God. And even for myself, it took me a long time, and I had to go and face Gabriel and tell Gabriel I was ready, and then still be very patient. You know what I mean? God may think I'm ready, but I'd be panicking and saying I'm not ready. I'm not ready, because a real relationship is, what do you mean? You want someone, a partial, or you want to marry someone and settle down? Because that's what God sees as a relationship. Are you ready for the real thing? And that's where it's like, you're not looking for someone else that's ready. You're preparing yourself to be that person. And that's what we do with all this boot camp, dating and trading for, to find the right one. We're becoming the right one with training with other people. We're learning how to act with other people, how to be in a long-term committed relationship, with relationships that are short-term and less commitments. It's not a terrible thing. And that's honoring your Knight of Wands. So I can't tell you. I don't know where you are. I don't know what's holding you back from being in a relationship. I can tell you it's not your appearance, and it's not your income or where you live. None of these things. It costs nothing to love someone. You can't make someone love you just by looking good and having good things. That's not how love works. We don't fall in love with the outside. We fall in love with the inside. Really? The outside fades. And that's why you can, that's why the Kardashians can't keep a man. Sorry to be truthful, but they're beautiful, but that's not enough. They want a good woman. They want a good, loving, worshiping, fucking, you know what I mean, nurturing, raise your children, stick by my side kind of woman. They want her to look good, but that's not the most important thing to men. It may be in the beginning, but it fades. It fades real quick. And that's the same thing for women. It's not that. So whoever you are, man or woman, it's not your appearance. And I can tell you that is like the men, my twin flames that I love so much, none of them are my type. They're not men that I would ever be attracted to. Your heart falls in love with someone you don't choose. The heart chooses for you. And it's not based on the outside. It's almost a person you would never, why would I ever love this person? Realistically, if you don't feel that way in the beginning, you might at the end. Realistically, yeah. All right, what was the other question? The Zoloft. Depending on your situation, people, you may have took yourself in to say, I can't deal with my emotions, and that's why they gave it to you, is to help you deal with your emotions. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with not being able to deal with them. The problem is not going on for long periods of time not dealing with them. There's times when we can't. I've got too much going on. I can't deal with this right now. Right now, okay. But you have to find time to deal with these emotions. And they are crushing. They really are. But the reason that they're crushing is because you haven't dealt with what they're coming from, which is an experience that you had that is now you're just carrying the emotions, the heaviness of what this experience is. That's where not only medication, but therapy comes into play. The medication comes to calm you down until we can talk it out. Until you talk it out, you're going to be on medication and they're going to start to wear off. You gain a tolerance for it because your feelings are stronger than that. And that's any pain medicine. Psych meds are just pain medicine. You're emotionally in pain. So what they're doing is they're trying to turn off a certain part of your brain that causes this pain. But they're not hitting where it really comes from because the real pain is coming from a different part of your brain. A different part of your brain is sending electrons to the part that makes your body feel. I know this because I live inside my body as a soul, and that's that image. They can't turn off of the images. You want to just forget it, and that's where I lived, in a disassociated state. All of my pain, all of the images of everything that ever happened to me are hidden in a certain part of my brain that I can't access. It feeds into my body, and my body becomes filled with unbelievable emotions that are crushing me. I can't see what's happening. I can only feel it. I have to wait. I have to follow this emotion until I can activate that image of what happened, where it's coming from. Most of you know where it's coming from. You have to deal with the image. I have to work backwards. I have to deal with the feeling to find the image. And then when I find the image, now the feeling is twice as bad as it was to begin with. It's explosive. Now I'm stuck in the trauma and I have to deal with all of this. And I teach you how to deal with it. You won't feel better until you think better. And I don't ever want anybody to turn off their feelings like I did. I turned off 39 years of my life in what was called a personality disorder. I didn't take medication. My brain turned it off. Anytime something bad happened or I was reminded of something bad, my brain would switch like a channel to another part where I didn't feel and I didn't remember and I didn't think. And now I'm here with all these feelings and memories and thoughts that I never had before. I made it through life, but who wants to live like that? Because I didn't learn anything. By not remembering it and not feeling it, all I did was keep reliving it. I didn't learn how to stop these things from happening. They just kept happening over and over and over because I never got the wisdom of what it was, why these things kept happening. I just would forget about them and then until the next one happened. And then I'd forget that one. And then I'd forget that. I lived in a constant state of trauma. I didn't stop being traumatized till I woke up at 39 years when God came in and said, you can't talk to these people no more. You can't live here no more. You can't be with that person no more. I fought it, but that's the only way I stopped myself from being hurt. I kept being hurt because I didn't remember that these people would hurt me. I would completely forget that you hurt me and go back and let you do it again and again and again and again. How many times did I let Bobby hurt me? And I kept going back again. Did I forget? No. I fully was allowing this to happen to realize what my pattern was. I had to do it with someone. I had to realize what was wrong with me. That's the rest of you. You're going to keep hurting until you realize why you're going through these hurtful situations. Don't let anyone make you feel bad that you can't deal with your pain. But at the same time, if you don't deal with it, you'll die from it, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. And really, you're not mental. They call it a mental illness, but it's an emotional illness. You don't think chaos. You don't think anxiety. You don't think depression. You don't think loneliness. You have thoughts that make you feel anxiety. You have thoughts that make you feel depression. You have thoughts so what their idea is to just turn off your thoughts. Then you turn into a capsule like me. That's not the right thing to do. to numb a person like that, to completely put them out of their mind so that they can just walk through the day and never feel anything. You hope for that, but I live like that, and I promise there's no way to live. Confirmation. Oh, she's coming up. I gotta go. Confirmation. We can't live like that. I did that, and that's not a way to live. And I don't want that for anyone. I know it hurts. I know that because I relive the hurt every day. All different kinds of hurts that I just couldn't deal with before. But that's the way I became free, is finally freeing myself from the hurts I would not deal with before. It'll kill you, bro. I promise it will. These experiences will kill you if you let them. But I can teach you how to have understanding for what happened. And through that, you can get some forgiveness. You'll get a lot more compassion and, some love for this whole situation. It's terrible what happened to you, but we can change the narrative to where it empowers you and it's not disempowering you every day, because surviving it is very powerful. You just haven't really fully overcome it mentally, but you've already overcome it. You're no longer there. And if it keeps happening, you keep overcoming it. So you have the power. You just haven't put it all together. And I'm here to help you with shit like that. And there's lots of trained professionals. Running from it is not the option, is not the answer. And accepting that it is too much is okay too. In the beginning, that's why I started microdosing. And that was last night. I didn't want to feel it. And so I had my pocket full of my mushrooms. So I don't have to feel this. I can turn these feelings off and just experience it without feeling overwhelmed by all of my emotions of every moment of what this feels like. I was able to stay present and just feel it. And it wasn't as bad as I thought, because I don't have the same heaviness on me. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And that's where we heal, and we're able to go back into places that we could never go because they hurt us before. They bothered us. We could face things that we were too afraid to face because of something else. You know? So shout out to you guys. Let's see. I'm gonna leave it on that note. I love you guys. I will catch you guys for the next one. Laters, haters.